Okay, we got a lot of things drawn in here. The long white line goes up the golf shaft. That's the swing plane, and the swing plane is dictated by the club you're using. The spine angle should be about 90 degrees to that, and it is pretty close. You can see a little rounding in his shoulders. We'd like to see the butt out and up a little bit more than that. The blue line is his butt position. Some golfers feel like they raise their heads, but if they're raising their heads, that means the butt is moving away from the blue line. The only way to raise your head is to move what it's attached to. So let's go ahead and play this through in slow motion. Just take a look at what the swing looks like. It's going up the swing plane pretty good. A lot of movement there in that left knee. Drops the club back down on plane pretty nice. And on through. So let's back it up now. Let's break it down into its little parts here. Setup looks pretty good. As he takes the club back, a little lifting. See that right there with his head? How he lifts a little bit. And he's straightening his right knee. And his left knee is flexing and coming way out towards the golf ball. Sometimes that'll help a golfer get a little better turn, but it generally is a power robber unless you can time dropping that heel back to the ground quickly on the downswing. Now you see he's got the club a little bit upright here. I'd like to see the club more on the swing plane. Let's see what happens as he goes up a little bit, and then he turns in. Notice how he starts his right elbow down. That's a nice move right there. Very good. He's getting the club back where it's going to be more parallel with the back arm than the forward arm. It's parallel to the swing plane. He hasn't moved much. His butt hasn't moved away from the blue line, but you can see how his shoulders have lifted up. His head has stayed pretty well, but he's losing his there. That's when he moves away from the blue line too much. And he's collapsing his right knee down. Generally what will happen at that is the misses are going to be pull hooks. We don't want that right knee to go down, and we don't want to come up onto the right toe like that. What that's meaning is that we're actually shifting our weight to our toes rather than to our forward foot. Right on through, and that's why he's got an upright finish. He's a little contorted there and come back. I'm going to clear everything out of the way, and then I'm going to blow up his foot so you can see what I'm talking about here. What we should see is the foot rolling to the inside of the ankle. So the weight stays in on the ankles. And what's happening here, you can see he's coming straight up with the toe. And then the heel kind of goes around behind him a little bit. So we got a little foot action to work on. It wasn't bad, not critical. I'd like to see him just try to keep his posture just a little bit better.